recommend, I don't know where we want to put it, either under miscellaneous and C, have a representative here from Facility Shores to address the ordinance B that we have listed here. We can do it under miscellaneous or do it as we consider it.
Pardon me, what is that?
All right, we can do that.
Yeah, we don't
He
need
needs to explain it. Yeah. All right, that's fine.
So we don't have it. Next item is...
Move to second, or second.
Okay,
Jack Smith.
thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Next item of business, disposition of journal proceeds, approval of previous minutes, any additions or corrections? Gavin, motion approved.
Second.
Monk, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried. Next item of business is public comments for 3 minutes. Do we have any comments from the social line?
Judge, I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank Galen for the professional manner in which he chaired the committee meeting on the airport. And Galen, I appreciate the way you handled that meeting. Thank you.
Anyone else? Not, we'll move on. Next, under miscellaneous, we have Mr. Joel Gardner. Matt Hill, would you like to introduce?
Hello, actually, my name is Jeff Hatley. I'm with Ozark Regional Transit. Joel is getting his head worked on. He's at the dentist today. I'm the Capability Manager and Public Information Officer. Sir, pass those with me. He got more. Thank you for having me. I will be brief. Public transit system is growing in the four county area here in Carroll County. We're growing by 7% overall year to date over last year. That's for 2 reasons. We've added some more routes in Washington and Benton County, but we've also, on our paratransit side, which is the small minivans, is what we have in Carroll County, we have sent some of our people back to training so that we can squeeze more out of the fleet that we actually have and schedule more passengers for that service. For Carroll County, and if you include Berryville in there, we have increased 11.6% over last year. Carroll County, exclusive of Berryville, is actually down 65%, and the reason is because there's very low numbers to begin with. There's 221 rides picked up in Carroll County in 2013, and only 77 this year to date. And I asked Jay, our driver over here, the reason for that. He said he would have to look into it more, but basically we've got 2 passengers that were using the service quite a bit. One of them unfortunately died. The other one was using it basically because his car was in disrepair and he's got the car fixed. So that can account for a lot of it. Jay's typically carries 23 passengers a day for July and 513 overall for the month. He did say that would drop a little bit when school starts because a lot of that is, I think he said 10 kids that he takes to the pool every day. So with that, that's kind of a brief overall. I'll be open for questions, concerns.
Any questions? Come on.
When Joe was here the last time, I asked him for copies of the reimbursement claims filed with the state on the rural transit side. Jamie, has he sent anything in?
Yes.
Okay. I would like copies of everything filed for this year.
Sure.
On the rural side.
I'll finish here. Thank you.
Ron?
Did I understand you correctly, the rural ridership in the county is down 65%?
Yes, sir.
Over last year?
Yes, sir. For year to date from January to end of July.
Wow.
We had, let's say, 221 riders at this point, in 2013, we've only had 77 this year in 2014. That's exclusive of Berryville, that's just Carroll County.
You know, just a comment, I think, sorry, you know, I don't think the general public realizes what a service this is and how little it costs. You would think it would be used more than that, but no one that I have any contact with realizes the service and how it can benefit. So,
I mentioned before, I've got that one down the street where they come every morning, pick up that kid and bring him back every afternoon. And I don't know, it has to be some kind of school arrangement. They kind of run parallel with the school bus, but that, there obviously are some people who understand, and she has used that service for a couple of years now, and there's no other way to get to town from out there if you don't have transportation. But it's there and it's valuable for people that need it.
John? I agree with what John said. You said you're the public affairs?
Public information.
What can be done to provide more publicity about it?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. We're obviously trying to be as good stewards of the taxpayers' money as we possibly can, so we're trying to get the most bang for our buck, but we're not doing enough over in Carroll County. I talked to Joel about that this morning. I met with Diane Newcomb at the local newspaper, and I've got an appointment set up with her after this meeting to see what we can do within our budget for Carroll County to try to get that word out. Like you mentioned, a lot of people just don't know about the service. Certainly be doing more, and that does fall on me to get that word out.
Anyone else? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next item of business under this one is above duty.
I mailed you a packet where I did an analysis of the salaries for the sheriff's office and the other police departments in the county. Also did an analysis of the fleets, people, and I also gave you analysis, I sent out a survey to the other counties that had built jails based on the sales tax and what services they get to the city as a result of that. I'm not going to go over, you have a chance to look at the salaries. And if you look at it for all three, you're going to see that the cities are paying their officers anywhere between $12,000 and $20,000 more than my deputies are getting. Then in many cases, their patrol officers are making more money than my deputies. We have a lot of good experience there. There will be people that would be lost to the county, who lost that experience. And with the budget coming up, if there's anything that can be done, because the last Quorum Court gave you a report based on the activities put us through the year. And we have a third of the police officers in the county, but yet we're doing 2/3 of the work, and we're covering 650 square miles. So I appreciate it. If you look at those salaries, and if there's something that can be done to recognize the officers, because we can't afford to lose them. I also did an analysis of the fleets. You can see our fleet vehicles are at far more miles on them than the cities do. But the biggest concern I have, we only have 3 vehicles in our fleet that have a police package. All the other vehicles we buy right off the lot from a local dealer, or we get used vehicles. And that's very dangerous for the roads that we cover, especially when we have to respond to code green. Without police package, if you don't have the heavy-duty suspension, you don't have the heavy-duty brake system, you don't have the heavy-duty lower ends, that it's going very dangerous for your officers. So, and I was talking to Larry, I think about a few weeks ago, that prior to me becoming sheriff, I think that one of the previous administrations had put in a budget request for 5 vehicles a year. And the decision was made by the Quorum Court that from now on, the sheriff's office will get $60,000 a year. They can buy 1 vehicle or 2 vehicles with that money. Last year, he took all the capital away from us to buy vehicles. This year, we only got 1 vehicle now. Coming year, we're going to be down 2. So we're going to be down 5 vehicles coming to the next budget. The last thing I gave you was an
based on sales tax money and what services they are given to the police departments in that city. And this does not cover all the counties, these are just the ones that responded to my survey. And you'll see that there are very few where the city police departments are getting all of these free services. And just for some of the highlights I have down on the bottom there, for Claiborne County, they have keepers trained as to the dispatch for the county. For Crittenden County, they started out with a 1% sales tax, they reduced it to 3/4%. Then they got dog racing in the county, so they're making so much money that it's not an issue, the money's being used to cover the police department. The sheriff's department did 12, or 10%. Faulkner County, their sales tax is not sufficient, and I don't know why OEM is subsidizing the operation. Howard County, all services initially, but then because it was not sufficient to cover the operation of the jail and dispatch, the cities are now paying for the housing of prisoners. Lincoln County, cities do not pay ACIC transaction fees. Wichita, sales tax is 1%. The largest police department they serve, though, has only 2 officers in those departments. Whereas here in Eureka Springs, Berryville, and Forest, their department, as far as patrol officers, almost have as many as we do for deputies patrolling the county. And the last one is Yale. They just passed the sales tax, where they started at 3/4%. They got a 15-year sunset clause on it, which they'll be reducing it to 1/4%. But they're concerned that 1/4% is not to be sufficient to cover the operation of the jail and police department. Yes,
Ron?
I noticed you don't have Newton County on here, and I know there's special problems there, but I read recently that they got a grant from the state to get their jail up and running, and they're planning to open it here any day now and take their prisoners back. But for the future, they're saying their 0.5% sales tax is not enough to operate it. Is that correct?
I am not familiar with Newton County as to what's happening there.
Maybe Don knows.
Yeah, they were only open for a couple of months one time. I thought, what the world are you doing open up for a couple of months? But they just don't have enough population for a 0.5% to make a big difference down there. That's what I would think.
The only way they know about that county.
I believe you from Lake County.
Oh, I was gonna, what's the amount of the increase for a police vehicle over a regular one?
Usually we've been buying the used SUVs, and we've been buying them where we have maybe 20,000 plus miles, and we've been getting for around $20,000. So if you buy a police package vehicle, fully equipped, you're looking at about $30,000.
It adds about 30,000?
No, it'll be about $10,000.
Be about 10,000.
But you're getting a vehicle with all of the police package.
In looking at your list here, you've got the one Ford Explorer, the 2014, with a police package and only 3,300 miles on it. Is that the replacement for the one?
We just recently got a new one, yes. So we only have 3 vehicles that have police package.
Well, you show 4 in here.
So then there's 4, but
You show Zimmerman, West Side, and Ferris, and Wenzel.
But the point I'm making is that from now on, any package car that we get will be a new deal for your police package, because unfortunately, I truly believe that the accident that we had where the officer lost his life, I think if you had a police package that you've been able to keep control of that vehicle when he went from the hard pavement onto the county road.
And which vehicle did you purchase with the budget money for this year? Was it that 2013 Explorer?
It would have to be one of the police packages. It would have to be, I don't know.
Is it 2014 Ford?
Well, that's the one that he got replacing the one that was wrecked. The 13, I think, is the one you got with the budget money for this year. That's another police package Explorer.
Yeah. I just put together the list of the miles in the car and type of vehicle. I didn't do anything else with that. So, the one that I give them for you.
Yeah. Okay. So, but those are the 2 newest in the fleet. And they both have the police package. Then the 3rd newest is the Chevy Tahoe, the 2012 Tahoe with 42,000 miles. and the police package. Those are the ones you bought that 2 years ago, and then, or a year ago. This year you bought the 13, and then the 14 replaces the regular one.
I can't say for sure, because I didn't look at all of it. I just gave you the vehicle with the mileage.
I'm just looking at, most of them have 130 up.
I mean, we have a lot of them way over 150,000 miles on.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
And one thing I would say about Newton County, I was approached by the sheriff there that what he has asked us to do, because we have been very fortunate to have a lot of rare applications and ABC commits. He has asked us if we could send him some of our ABC commits because they need the money to start paying for their jailers. And this way, by having ABC commits in his jail, he's making $28 a day per inmate, so that they can have some revenue to start paying for their jailers.
I've got one more question on the subject you didn't cover, but how are we coming with transitioning to the collections?
Not doing very well, not making any progress.
When are we trying to start? What's going on?
Well, we went to Boone County to see what needed to be done in order to make the transition, because all along, we thought we were going to be doing the same thing for circuit court as we had been doing with district court, whereas we collect all the money, and then at the end of each month, we provide the district court with like a docket that shows a list of all the people who have paid, and we give them the check for the money paid, and then the district court breaks that money down and pays out to the public defender, to the victims, and so forth. When we talked to Ramona after the last meeting, she advised me that, and she's here, she can advise you what she was told by either Tony or by Devin, but she was saying that we have to take over the complete operation. It's not just the collection of the fine fees, but she's telling us that we have to take over the collection of all the money, and that she would not be involved in the transition. Where as of 25th, we just take over, and there will be no assistance for the transition, which I find it hard to understand, because in Boone County, when they decided to take over the entire operation, it took 3 people 4 months to make the transition. So if we're going to be, if their decision is that ordinance requires me to do the complete operation, we cannot do it with the staffing that we have.
What's the complete operation? I don't even understand. Now, when fines and fees are assessed in court, that's part of the judgment that's entered there, and I'm sure the circuit clerk takes care of those records and has the records on what the fines are. So, are you supposed to do that? You start in court?
What we were supposed to be, what I'm assuming is what they're asking us to do, is that once you receive the sentencing form, it breaks it down that so much money is for fines and fees, so much for a public defender, so much for court costs, so much for the victims. And then there's a priority in which you issue checks as you receive that money. Whereas we were assuming the same process is going to be what we were doing with the district court. We collect all the money, and the district court disperses the money the way it's supposed to the different agencies. But here, if we have to do that, then we have to have all these different checking accounts for each one of the, one for the public defender, one for the victims, one for the courts, and then we are supposed to be issuing the checks to those individual agencies. And I keep being told it's the law, but I don't understand if it was the law, then why did it take Boone County 4 months for 3 people to make the transition when nobody was saying it was a violation of the law? So and then a lot of counties, if you would look, there are some counties that have collection agencies that collect money. No county's going to turn over all of the bookwork and paperwork to a collection agency to be doing all that paperwork when they're collecting money. So at this point in time, I don't know. I think you're going to have to ask Ramona, or you're going to have to ask Tony Rogers as to what the issues are, because I don't know what they are.
Mr. Flake, that was all explained during this all debate. Cindy explained it, Ramona explained it, everyone explained the process of collection. It wasn't just going up, that was all explained.
I'm obviously not smart enough to understand it, because I'm completely...
What the sheriff is saying is when they collect the money, there's distributions of the money.
Right.
By him taking over, he's now has to just divvy up the money. He's gonna have to open new checking accounts and everything else. That's what the sheriff is trying to explain.
John?
Ron's not the only one that didn't understand it. I sure as hell didn't understand it.
I think Ron had his up first, then.
Did I?
Jim?
And?
When it was first proposed, I made the statement at that time it was not fair on its face because it just addressed the collection fines. We brought it back, and that was amended to say the whole 9 yards, everything that we proposed, that Ramona was handling, would be turned over to the sheriff, at which time the sheriff said he had the personnel to do it. Fully understood. Yes, you did. You told us you had the personnel to do it.
Yes.
You did. Yes, you did. And I understand what you're saying. Now that you get into
One at a time.
You get into it now and you realize it's much more complicated than you originally thought. But that should have been thought through before we took it from Ramona and put it somewhere else. I'm done. Good night.
From day one, I understood what he was talking about. I talked to Ramona about this and investigated on it, and you'll see I voted every time against it, because when the dust all settled, there was going to be more personnel hired to do it. That's why I didn't want to do it.
I think this thinks, it is a collection process. The law provides a mechanism to provide a collector. What we gave to the sheriff's department was the act of collecting. The law specifically directs, in fact, the Quorum Court to appoint someone as the collector of these amounts of money. Not all this other record keeping, it's the collector.
But it's only
I don't care.
Read the ordinance. Read the ordinance we passed at this table. Read it, see what it says. Well, the intention were, no, I'm sorry.
The ordinance we passed, assigning collection to the sheriff, is identical to the ordinance that we passed a couple of years before, assigning collection to Ramona. It's word for word identical. I wrote both of them, and they say the same thing. Now, the circuit clerk is charged by law with maintaining the records of the circuit court, which would mean the judgments and all of that. That's part of her duty under ACA 16, 20, 102, 303, 304. She's also charged with preparing summons, warrants, orders, judgments authorized by the circuit court. She maintains all the files of all the cases. Now, how is the sheriff supposed to do that part of it? I can understand him collecting the money, and all the money has to be turned into Cindy. And Cindy, it's very specific in the law that the fines have to be turned into the county treasurer, and the county treasurer then arranges the disbursement. That's how it's handled. That's part of the law. If you want a cite on that, I looked that up too.
Okay, do you look through the other law book that covers the statute where it says that we does it? And it clearly says whoever we appoint, and it gives the duties of whoever we appoint as the collector. Because, I mean, this is generalizing what the role of the circuit clerk is. But there's a statute in the book that says, and that's probably what the prosecuting attorneys are referring to, that whoever the collector is, that falls under that responsibility.
Cindy, what's that?
Ramona and I talked about this week. I don't think there was enough investigation by the Quorum Court members to know what was going to happen. Now, when I get Ramona's report, it lists the fines and the fees and all that comes to me, and then she sends it to different areas, and then I put it in different funds as it comes to me. I just think I've got in a hurry about this. Then the bigger problem lies that I'm concerned about anticipating revenue. This is a large revenue for the county, and so I have no way of anticipating this for the next year. My concern is that this is going to go down rather better than us, simply because of all the transition. But each fine, the way it's passed in the legislature, tells you what to do with each one. Okay? The administration of justice gets part of the money, and I said that. But some of them are specific to the collecting official that they will send it to that particular agency. Now, what I send to the state is not much anymore because of Act 1256 that reorganized all the court systems, made it much better. But anyway, guys, it's just a mess. I was trying to answer some of Ramon's questions about what are we going to do about this or that. I don't know.
Ron?
Well, I think you're smart to anticipate a decrease in revenue, because obviously Ramona doesn't want to collect them. She hasn't collected them in the past, so we're not going to get any there. We've got the sheriff who says he can't get in and collect them, so we will continue to get people who volunteer to come in and pay, I guess, if somebody will collect that money. I'm not sure how we're going to handle that, but I wish our attorney, now the prosecuting attorney is our attorney, he's supposed to represent us, I wish he was here to explain to us what we need to do.
There is.
Oh.
I'm a deputy prosecuting attorney here. My name is Craig Parker. I'm filling in for Devin Goodman, who normally does this. I'm happy to answer any specific questions that you have with respect to the law that I can answer, and I'm happy to take any others down and research. What I'm hearing right now is some pretty general questions about what the duties of the collector versus the duty of the circuit clerk are. If the court would submit specific questions in writing, we can research them and give them to them. But this is an area of law that we have looked at, and these are some pretty large and complicated questions. So, go ahead. Do you have a specific question?
I've got a real simple question.
Okay.
Why don't you come up here and, as our attorney, you represent us. You represent the Quorum Court, right? You understand that?
The prosecuting attorney's office is here to advise the Quorum Court, as far as I understand, with respect to matters of law.
In this county, we have chosen to have the prosecuting attorney represent Quorum Court. We are your client, right?
You may make that statement. I don't know the extent. I do not know the extent of our representation of you. Again, I'm here today in my capacity as deputy prosecuting attorney to advise the Quorum Court to the extent that I can. And do you have a question?
No, I have a statement.
Okay.
Okay, this is our meeting, and I do have a statement. The prosecuting attorney represents Quorum Court. We have chosen that years ago. That is his job. We have a new assistant here who doesn't understand that and hasn't been involved in any of this dealing. We need to have a representative from the prosecuting attorney's office in our meetings to advise us. My question is very simple. I would like to know what we need to do to make arrangements for somebody to collect our fees and fines. That's an easy question. I want somebody to answer that. Either in writing or in person. I don't care.
I think the gentleman's offered to do that, should give him a written request, he'll be searching. That's the way I understood it, and I know we got a problem. I think the gentleman that offered to do that, he'll give him a written.
Well, I don't think.
Larry, man.
Well, I'm just gonna hold up to this young man. I think he's kind of been thrown to the wolves this morning, because I think Tony or Devin one said, we need you to go to the Quorum Court meeting and fill that for us. And he is caught off guard on this. He's not been explained to him what his role is as far as the Quorum Court. So I think we need to cut him a little slack. This is
Well, if I may, I'm not even trying to criticize him. I've never seen him before. I don't know who he is. He is obviously new to the job. He doesn't know who we are, and he's not prepared to deal with this issue. And I understand that. I don't blame you for saying you want to go research it, but we should have somebody from the office here who can answer our questions. That is their job.
Jack?
We talked about this before. What we need is better working relations between the departments. The sheriff has got some tools that helps us collect this stuff. Ramona's got a friend who will help us if we go automated to do the logging. We talked about the dispatchers doing entries for this. I don't think that would work out. I'm facing that before. If we could get these two agencies working together and figure out how we can make this thing work, because you've got tools that'll make it work. She's got tools that'll make it work. We've got to figure out how to get you two working together, along with the judge who signs these things. I think we can solve the whole problem, but it's got to be a working relationship between departments. That's all there is to it.
Ron, I think I can answer your question. Your question was, your ordinance gets who the collector is. And I think the question that we need to ask is, what is the duties of the collector? Is the duties of the collector to collect and disperse, or that's the issue, is there are not issues, sheriff's collecting money, the issue, we're going up, the issue is, who's going to disperse the money? Once the money's collected, who's going to disperse it? The sheriff or the circuit clerk?
Ron, I'll address you straight. Where you come up with that, I don't want to collect it, I don't want people to have to pay it, is utter ridiculous. My goodness. I just cannot believe that you, supposedly an intelligent man, would say that about somebody that's been doing this as long as I've been doing it. In my opinion, the sheriff is not going to be able to collect a nickel more than I do because of the processes that we have to go through, that I have tried for a couple of years now to explain to you all. I stood up here and said, I have to make reports, I have to send money to the Public Defender Commission, to the Department of Finance and Administration. I have to send money here, thither, and yon. I just begged you. You supposedly gave me 90 days to see about getting an automated system. And I had it that close to being implemented. And whiz bang, you all, or some of you all, decided that you were going to go right on ahead with it and take it from me and give it to the sheriff. Now, I spoke with prosecuting attorney, the deputy prosecuting attorney. I spoke to the attorney from the Association of Arkansas County, and somebody else that just escaped me who it was. But anyway, all of whom said, this is not district court, and how many times have I tried to tell you, you cannot compare this to district court. It's totally different. But all of those persons who interpret the law told me when the collection goes, it all goes. That wasn't a decision that I made, necessarily. But they told me, no, it all goes. So, to say that I don't want to do this, I'm getting to the, and for the sheriff to say that he's had no cooperation, that is an insult to me as well. I care about this county. I want things to be done correctly. I am working diligently to make sure that all the folks are correct when I turn them over to them. I have been working on this ever since you all started this, saying that I had to have it done, and the 30th day is August the 25th. What I need to know is the morning of, or is it the end of day, whenever I turn it over to them. Pam has been over to my office twice. We have sat down and we have looked these things over. I have tried to explain it to her. I have written notes to her. She has asked me questions. Don't say I have not been cooperative. Now that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't care about the county and the people of this county. Apparently, trust me, they elected me to do this job. I just can't believe that you spout this stuff about how I don't want to collect. I don't think they should collect. No, sirree. That is not the truth.
I'd like to advise them, she
I think it's done depends on something else,
Well, I'd like to see, figure out how we're gonna go forward with collecting this money. Do we need another ordinance?
Give it,
No.
I have a question.
Galen.
If the ordinance is still in place for Ramona, how do we know we have a problem? If she said it's not gonna be in effect until August the 25th,
Correct.
then we don't even know if there's a problem.
May I make one more comment?
Yes.
As one of you mentioned, that the sheriff said he would not need other personnel, he was totally set up for it. I understand they don't have an automated system for this either, so they're gonna have to do it manually, just like I'm doing it, until they can get a program in place. And they're gonna have to have more people, apparently. And the salaries for those extra people are far and away going to exceed anything more than can ever be collected. I just
One
want you
more
to-
time, Ron, and we're done.
I'd just like to respond to a couple things Ramon said. And I apologize if I offended you or misstated your position, but I think you have told us that you do not think your job is to go out and collect
It's
the
not.
fees and fines. Your job is to accept money that people bring into your office. You've also told us that we have something over $2.8 million owing in fees and fines that have been uncollected over the years. And I think that runs for your entire term, plus people before you. I think this has gone on for many years. We have had an ineffective collection process. I am sure you talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. There are 60-some counties in the state that use the sheriff as their collector. And the sheriff, in most of those, if you talk to the Association of Counties, the Association of Sheriffs, the sheriff works with the circuit clerk, and together they do it. I had assumed we would do something like that in this county, and that when we appoint the sheriff to take over the physical collection of the overdue fees and fines, he works with Ramona, she gives him paperwork, her people handle the administrative paperwork as they're doing now, and the sheriff makes collections and brings the money to the treasurer or to Ramona, and it's dispersed. Now, if the sheriff is going to do this, and if he needs more people to do it, I think we can probably take him out of Ramona's office. We can change her staffing and turn it over to the sheriff, so he has the people to do this work, because she won't have to do that anymore. And it's that much work that her people are doing to collect the money, and the sheriff needs more people to do it, maybe that's what we need to do. But my question for the prosecuting attorney is, give us a procedure for how to do this, so that we know what to do, so our attorney tells us the way to do it, so we have it down. If on the 25th, we can't make the transition, then we have nobody collecting, so it gets even worse. Now, on the 25th, Ramona, if the sheriff can't start, are you still gonna accept money if people bring it in?
I can't, because you have taken that away from me.
So-
And I talked to an attorney about that.
So,
And they said it is out of my hands.
I think it's time to get on to something else. Under old business, we have none. New business, number 8, a resolution, you can read that, Mr. James, please.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas, a resolution requesting the county judge enter an agreement with Community First Bank of Berryville to extend for 1 year the payoff of the line of credit pertaining to the AFA hangar project. Whereas the Arkansas Aeronautics Commission awarded the Carroll County Airport Commission a grant in the amount of $300,000 for the installation of hangars at the Carroll County Airport. And whereas the Quorum Court in Resolution 2012-7 requested the county judge enter an agreement for a 12-month line of credit with Community First Bank of Berryville in the amount of $400,000 for the hangar project, of which $100,000 was to be approved from funds of the Carroll County Airport Commission. And whereas a 12-month extension of this line of credit is now needed. Now therefore be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas, the Quorum Court respectfully requests and authorizes the county judge to seek a 12-month extension for the payoff date of the herein referenced reference line of credit.
John, you approve?
Yes, I just wanted
Now, you're a second.
Right.
Come on, second, go ahead, John.
The money to pay off $100,000 primarily comes from the renting of the hangar. And as we know, there's been some problem with a few of the hangars, but there are 5 hangars yet to be rented, and that amounts to about $20,000 a hangar, and that money will go to pay off the remainder of this line of credit. And the bank says there's no problem. When the judge calls, they'll extend the money.
Ron?
Is the interest paid current? The interest that's been accrued prior to extension paid, Lonnie?
No. I don't think it is.
So we've
It's
already
not, I
got,
thought so this morning, that, no.
how much is owed? I thought they would know.
$131 and change.
Okay, so all the interest that's accrued is $131. And they'll renew it without somebody paying that.
They agreed to renew it at the same interest rate of 4.15% for 1 year.
I move to approve.
John moves to approve, Gaten second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Deaton? Oh, sorry.
We talked about this the last time we did this, the extension, we had just, we got a couple last time on the extension on one of these bills. What's your plan?
Well, the reason that we had to have the line of credit to start with is because with state audits, we have to pay for everything and then submit the bills before we get reimbursed. So, in order to do any kind of a construction project, we have to have some funds, and we have to submit invoices and copies of checks and so on and so forth. And so that's why we had needed the line of credit to start with. We have 5 hangars in inventory that we're looking to sell a long-term lease, which is 10 years, for $20,000 each. And 3 of the hangars do have long-term leases on them. We just need the time to sell the long-term leases on their main hangars. That's it.
I understand all that, I mean, we did this thing the last time we borrowed money to do the hangars, it run over. We had to do the extension. And this time when we approved this, you said we wouldn't need to do extensions, so you've got plans in place to make it for this real quick, or we're gonna look at it down the road, or what's going on?
Well, I think that, giving us an extra year to do this will be sufficient. Obviously, we have people calling in every day and a lot of requests for information and so forth, but, we don't need to draw any more money down on the line of credit. We just need time to pay it off. And that's the only way we can do it, is selling these long-term leases.
Anyone else? Call for the vote.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. Swafford?
Yes.
Resolution passed. Next line of business is under B. Would you read that ordinance, please, Ms. Jimmy?
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas, ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending ordinance 2008-34, which amended ordinances 83-7 and 85-32 that established the Sylvan Shores Subordinate Service District. Whereas ordinance numbers 83-7 and 85-32 created the Sylvan Shores Subordinate Service District, and ordinance number 2008-34 thereafter amended said ordinances by increasing the assessment fee And whereas the Commissioners have requested to increase the annual assessment fee by $100, making the new rate $250 beginning January 1st, 2015. And now therefore be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas, ordinance number 2008-34 is hereby amended as follows, and will go into effect January 1st, 2015. Section 6. The services to be provided by this subordinate service district shall be financed by an assessment on each lot in the amount of $250, which sum shall to be entered on the tax notices and shall be collected with the real and personal property taxes of the county. The Carroll County tax collector shall not accept payment of any property tax where such taxpayer has been billed for services authorized by the subordinate service district unless the service charge provided herein is received. If a property owner fails to pay the service charge, it shall become a lien on the property of that property owner. The assessment provided herein shall be collected on the current year's basis.
Move to adopt.
Second, I hear a second.
Second.
Kenny moves to adopt, John ready second, we have a discussion.
Just a typographical error in section 6, second line, it's some shall, not some shall.
We vote on that. Ten?
We need to do anything prior. It's my understanding that, and I'll let someone else address this, it was brought to my attention in the last meeting that they've got a problem out there with their water system. And this is the way they think they can take care of it. Come on, man, talk to me.
I'm Chuck Olson. I'm one of the commissioners on the Seven Shores Sport and Service District. We provide road and water services for approximately 30 to 40 homes in Seven Shores. That puts us in a small community water system, which is regulated by the state and all kinds of the county and all kinds of other people. What we've been experiencing on the weekends in our community, we have permanent residents and we have temporary residents that come in on the weekends, is that we are running out of water. We have 2 wells, and those wells were built approximately 1970. They're only 400 feet deep. And we are literally pumping those wells dry. We have low load protection circuits on our wells, and they trip so that we don't burn our pumps out. So what we're looking at is in the future, digging a new well, or drilling a new well. I've been working with Kevin at Empire Pump. In fact, I just talked to him this morning on the phone. We're looking at approximately $40,000 to drill a new well. That's the well, which has got to go down 1,000 feet, and will be due, plus the facilities and the housing and all this other stuff that goes with it. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to build up a financial base in the future, so when we do have to dig a new well, or drill a new well, which will happen, we're trying to put it off as long as we can. We'll have some money to deal with. So that's what we're asking for, this increase.
I didn't say
Did you have a district meeting and talk to the residents in the area?
Yes, we
What
did.
they voted on?
Yes, we did. We had a commissioners meeting. We voted to do this. Back in May, we had a community meeting. We presented it to the community, and believe it or not, we didn't have anybody that objected. We've got to have water. I mean, if you've ever been out of water, you'll know what any natural catastrophe. You can deal with electricity for a week, maybe, but you can't deal with that water for a day. So, and that's what we're doing. This is a big increase. I'll have to admit that. And I was not necessarily for that large of an increase, but that's what we ended up with. So, we do need the money.
Thanks. Anyone else? Call for the vote.
Mr. Eaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
yes.
Mr. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. Stocker?
Yes.
Ordinance passed.
Yes.
I have one note here, and this is from Ms. Goodman, which is just addressed the Quorum Court on this point. In order to make sure that notice requirements are met she advises that the Sylvan Shores Commission should send letters to each resident advising them of what is going to occur here and allow them to come in and comment or object during the next Quorum Court meeting. If I understand correctly, though, this ordinance is just passed, is that right? It's not, they're going to have to be read twice before it passes?
Yeah.
So that's, I simply wanted the Quorum Court to be aware that it needs to meet its notice requirements to the residents.
The residents have been notified with a letter that this is gonna happen. That's already taken place.
I'm not sure that notice is sufficient since the Quorum Court just passed the ordinance on its first reading today. You may have given notice that there was something coming up, but now it's real. Now there is an actual ordinance that's been passed, very possible at the next meeting, taken up for 2 more readings.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
Thank you, Judge. That's fine. I gave the minutes to Jamie, she has those, but if another letter to the residents is required, yes, we can do that, no problem.
Any more discussion?
In fact, I will do that.
Call for the vote.
Very good. Yeah, very good.
I'm sorry. Jumping around the corner, I think, keep up. Next item of business, JP comment on agenda items. I think a month, so if I can't see it.
At the last meeting, there was some discussion about financial reports from the Airport Commission. I had a long visit with Lonnie a couple of weeks ago, and we went over this point. He's going to be revising the way that the financials are presented to provide more detail to the Quorum Court in terms of what expenses and revenue items are. Right now, it looks like a check register. And I had also indicated that with budget talks coming up quickly, that information needs to be pulled together at the earliest opportunity. So that is in the works.
Yeah.
Same note, is there a way we could get copies of the checks they're writing, kind of give us an idea of what direction they're going in? Could you do that for us?
Yes, sir. Rhonda, do you have copies for that?
For these, that's all one copy.
No, for everything.
Oh,
Secondly, I would ask the faithful, we're getting ready to go into the budget next month, start working on it. I'm going to be out of town the first part of September. Would there be a problem with the JP to move the Quorum Court meeting a week later next month? It'll be on the 26th instead of the 19th. Would there be a problem with that? Anybody?
No objection.
Any objection? Would it be okay with you?
Oh, later.
26th instead of the 19th?
Yeah, we need to make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, we move the Quorum Court meeting for September to the 26th instead of the 19th.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded by the Quorum Court meeting to November the 16th, all in favor?
September 26th.
September.
26th.
All in favor? Any opposed? That'll work.
Thank you, sir.
Second that, I'm sorry, Judge.
Galen.
Thank you.
Larry?
I'd like to commend some people on wherever it's due. This is the first month in a long time that we've not paid any comp time. Most of it's just different departments, mainly some under the sheriff, have all comp time that was occurred has been taken instead of being paid. And like I said, this first time in a long time, we've not paid some.
Anyone else?
I'm sorry, what is this I'm looking at?
check register for the airport, I believe?
Yeah.
Oh.
Any more basic comment? No. Hey, we got the airport issue resolved on the rate was agreed to do it again for 1 year, 4.15%, same manner. This is honking your own horn, it seems like we always have a lot of talk about things going up and losing money. When I came here, we had John Deere graders, 36 months lease, $1,554.70 a month per grader, which wasn't a bad deal. I'm not degrading anybody. I initiated one with Volvo, 36 months, 4,500 hours, $1,091.28. Just made me feel pretty proud. This month we received 10 new Caterpillar graders, $695.76. So it's not all bad. I'm proud of all of you all. I think we just all need to come together as a family and work together and try to work things out.
Sam, on the graders we turned in, did we have any big expenses on those? Did that go smooth?
There'll be some because there's a $50 an hour charge over your lease payment if you run over 4,500 hours. And due to trying to grade the roads as much as we can, there's some of them that's over a few hours. The last month or two, we pulled ones that we thought they were over. We've been running with the shoe train operation